Hey guys, today I want to try something different. Usually I don't make these videos in English. You probably heard already my stupid accent. I'm from Germany. When I make videos, I'm a small guy on YouTube. When I make these videos, then it's usually in German. I like the language, I like English a lot. I listen to English every day, whether it's music or movies, series on Netflix or YouTube videos or whatever. It's my favorite language. But the difference or the problem is when there's no need to talk this language on a daily basis, then you don't sound as fluent. I can understand almost everything, but talking it sounds kind of weird. Anyway, today is the day when Tupac died 26 years ago, and rather spontaneously I was like, man, I want to show my small Tupac collection. I'm not really prepared, like usually I'm not really prepared for any videos. It's not my thing, like to structure everything, and no, I want to have the freedom to do whatever I like and how I like it. But I was scrolling through Instagram, and then I was like, damn, right, today is the 13th. First I want to say RIP to PMB, who died yesterday. And there's a little bridge I wanted to cross before I start, or however you say it. I wanted to explain something. On this channel there's only one video in English. It's at the very beginning. It was probably a few days after Nip passed in 2019, and I was a huge fan. And the crazy part is, on the day he died, and it was the 31st of March 2019, was the day I recorded for this channel my first video. I uploaded it a few days later. But on the same day I recorded my first video on this channel. Why I say it like this? I only say it like this because I didn't start all of a sudden with making videos or whatever. I come from this. Also have a lot to do with photos and video. Anyway, after that I never did another video in English again, even though for example, I'm a huge hip-hop fan, and that's an international thing. We have our own scene in Germany, obviously, but I feel like everybody from around the world is always looking over to the US when it comes to the motherland. And this year I tried to make my second video in English. I really tried. I tried hard. Was a few months ago, and excuse any mistakes I make. I explained the situation with my English when it comes to speaking the language. Anyway, this year the case went on with the Eric Holder guy who allegedly, even though it's not allegedly anymore, but I know how the Americans always put it that way. Killed Nip, and I wanted to talk. I had a desire to talk about the case and how I came about Nip's music, because I was a huge fan for around 10 years. And I recorded the video, and then after I tried for I don't know, 10, 15 times, I didn't get the point across the way I wanted to, and then I was like, no, I can't upload this. and I'm not the type of guy to say like, oh, I got a video, fuck how it is, I want views or whatever. That's not my thing. I only upload when I feel like, you know, it came across the right way. Yesterday PMB died, and was shocking to hear. And on that occasion, I had the plan to talk about a certain topic connected to PNB, but I said, let me let some time pass, but because I also don't want to be one of these guys who jump on the topic of someone. And we all know how this goes today. You have sincere people, sincere media outlets, you know, that do it, and or maybe close people to him, you know. But you also have a lot of people who just take the name, take the occasion that someone died, jump on it, and deep in their head they be like, oh, hopefully I get a lot of views. And I hate this shit. It's not right. Today, spontaneously, I was like, I almost can't remember if I said it in the beginning, because this is also not the first time I tried to record this video. But I was on IG, and I was like, oh shit, today is the 13th. Tupac died 26 years ago. Born June 16th, 1971. Died September 13th, 1996. So here's a pretty famous photo of his. That's obviously a t-shirt. It's my only shirt that I have these days. I gotta be honest, when I was younger I had a few more, but over the years, I'm still a huge hip-hop fan, don't get me wrong, and I wear this outside, but it's not, you know, you grow older, it's not the same to 100%. I think the most people will understand. Still, I'm a hip-hop fan, or in this case a Tupac fan. He is in my life, I will say, like the early 2000s, so over 20 years. I gotta say, at the very beginning, for example, in '96, when he died, I didn't know anything about Tupac because I was way too young. So you gotta be honest, like, I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, I knew him as a fan way back in the 90s or whatever. No, I did not. In the early 2000s, when I don't know how you all say it in your system in the US, but when it comes to school system, I know you have high school and whatever, but I'm not all into this. But when I was like in my early teens, I got to the next level of my school system, and that's when I first really came across Tupac. I have these things that I own to this day. They're lying around here, and I will pick each item, show it for a short time, talk about it a little bit. It's not, maybe not really the right, how do you say, how do you say it, I miss these words, see, it's fucked. You know, for example, I got these CDs here, and don't mind the reflection. I'm pretty sure that this is the right, how do you say this, man? Fuck, I don't know, like, in the right order, god damn it. Yeah, the right order, probably the right order. If not, come on, man. Something dropped. So, at first I will show the first album that someone gave to me back in the day when I was still in school. A good friend of mine. It was a girl, actually. Oh no, it wasn't a girl, but she also liked the album. It was one of my best buddies back then. and this is still sealed because few years later, I sometimes bought albums again because, for example, they broke over the years, and some of them are still sealed because why should I open them? I already know how it looks. I'm a huge fan to this day of booklets and all that, so you can go through them. And but in this case I already know, so let's keep it close. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna sell it someday. No, but I just wanted to keep it for myself. It means something to me. And this was the first Tupac album I came across. Yeah, so I bumped this like almost literally every day, and people who know this is like a best of. So you got almost, I mean, there are fucking 1,000 songs of Tupac, but you got a really good portion from his well-known songs, and so I got a little bit of everything. My first Tupac, the first time I came across Tupac, this dropped in '98, and if anybody would ask me, hey, okay, nowadays we have Spotify for years and all that, digital. Okay, maybe back in the day, if anybody would have asked me, I want to know about Tupac, how do I start with all this? I would have gave him this. I would have been like, hey, listen to this. You got like the most disrespectful diss songs, and also Dear Mama and Unconditional Love and all that. So you got a little bit of everything. If you like this, you probably will like his other albums as well, you know? So this was the first. Like I already shown you. Oh shit. Well, let's go through the CDs at first. Who cares? Tupacalypse Now. Tupacalypse Now. What the fuck? Like I said, I came across Tupac in the early 2000s, so I never knew this, obviously. And in 91 or 92, I believe. 91. I was a baby, so no. This is the fun part about music in general, but also, especially I feel like for hip hop, you can dig deep, right? And you can go back and you can buy shit, you can buy these albums if you want, you can complete your collection, you can learn about this. I met a few people in my life who were the same, like they came across Tupac one day in their life, and then they started to research and learn and wanted to know about this person because this person is so diverse and interesting. I mean, we all know that. So later on in the years, almost every time when I was in a CD store, you know, about one album here and there, and sooner or later, or one, I believe like maybe this one, I'm not 100% sure, I believe this one was gifted to me years back. So that's how you get across all these. In my case, I came across about all these albums over some years, you know. Like you see, this is still sealed. I bought this another time. It's not even that long ago. And I was like, hey, let me buy this again so I can put it. My original plan was a few years back that I wanted to have every album from Tupac completely sealed. I liked it that way, but I'm not even sure if you. I mean, in Germany, I'm not even sure if you can still. I have the feeling CDs are getting less and less every time I go to the CD store or to a, you know, electric store where you get all types of shit. But also the CDs and movies gets less and less. Kind of sad. I'm still a CD guy. Obviously, also digital fan with Spotify and all that, but I like CDs as well. And not sure if I can even get every Tupac album sealed. When I was in US in 2004 in San Diego, Jesus man, this was like Christmas, like, you know. I was in the CD store. Okay, many years back, different times, but I saw some really cool stuff, and you had much more stuff than we had in the CD store. Anyway, cool. And I also can say I'm not so much connected to the older Tupac sound as well. So I listen to these songs, obviously, and Keep Your Head Up and all that. But I'm not as connected to these songs as, for example, to these songs from All Eyes on Me. You know, the sound is different and all that. Thug Life from his, not original crew, but, you know, his first crew years later after Digital Underground, yeah. See, I'm not the best anymore with all this. Also Sealed, crazy good album, man. But they split, they had issues, and the Outlaws came up. I mean, if you're a Tupac fan, you already know this shit. Me Against the World. Wow. Yes. To this day I want to have the vinyl. I still want to have the vinyl. I want to just hang it on my wall. I like this cover. I mean, it's one of the most famous covers in hip-hop history anyway. It's a dope-ass album. 2 CDs. I mean, I believe like Tupac said in the Vibe interview, like it sold in his lifetime, in these few months after it dropped, like 5 million or something, and then he passed, and you know, Biggie album been out for 2 years, barely touching 2 million. That's how he said it in, I believe, in the Vibe interview. I've seen it like 5,000 times in my life. Crazy good interview. Anyway, dope album. It's crazy good and still Sealed. I believe this video will get long as shit. I hope you're still there. If not, sorry. If you are, comment. If there's anybody that watches this from the US or somewhere else where you speak English, please feel free to comment. It would be fucking crazy, man. It'd be a cool thing to see. But probably this not many people will see this probably, but fuck it, still do it. Machiavelli, his last album, and I bought this twice. The first I bought, I didn't even realize it because I bought it over eBay and it looked like the usual cover, and then it arrived and it was one of these thin, you know, cardboard paper type things, totally thin like a CD, and I was like, what is this shit? I want the real deal. So I had to buy it again. Someone could have said, man, buy the fucking case and copy the cover, but no. And yeah, that's also some 90s type shit, right? This design, it's cool. Crazy good album. Hail Mary, many people. What do I even have to say about these songs? Like, it's famous, world famous. So we were in a custom era right now. Are You Still Down? Also 2 discs. And I also don't have every release, right? There are some, I feel like there are even releases where I ask myself, there's not even the label on it, like Amaru Entertainment or Death Row or something, or Interscope or whatever. So how, but I don't know how this works. And then there are some other, I believe there's an album called, also like one of his poems, The Rose That Grew From Concrete or something like that. For example, I don't have that, but hey. One of my favorite Posthum albums, also like the cover, Until the End of Time. Crazy good. This is also one of my, yeah, if I would have to decide, it's between, as if you say the Posthum, it's between Until the End of Time and Better Days. Man, I listened to Better Days like for ages. Yeah, it's also 2 discs. Like, if you have this in your hands, like, you realize, oh shit, how much music this guy made. It's fucking crazy. To be safe, I will pause this video for a second and start again, because sometimes I miss the point where I have to stop it and then it shuts down all of a sudden mid-sentence. So I don't like that. See you soon. I'm back. This will be a long video, like I said, so bear with me. This came out in 06? No, 04. Crazy. If you heard that, I'm a little hungry. Yeah, not my favorite Posthum album. Even though some tracks I mean, you can also say it didn't age well. The songs on there, in my opinion, didn't age that well. So if you listen to them today, some of them, yeah, but nah, some of them not so much. But hey, opinions are different, taste is different. So Park's Life is, from what I know, the last Posthum album as of now. Over the years I heard there will be new Tupac music dropping. We will see. I'm not sure if the estate was sold or whatever. I mean, it was in his mother's hands a long time, if I'm not wrong, or at least certain percentages. I mean, she died a few years back. Sad, but we will see. And this is also one really cool. I also have the DVD. I will come across this in a minute. From his movie. I was just about to say it. Here you see it in the booklet. I just wanted to say this Tupac Amaru Shakur Center for the Arts is still around, and that's a beautiful thing, right? That's really a beautiful thing. Here you have even computer animations. I'm not sure. I believe probably the text would say that it's not even built yet, but it is since many years, and the youth can go there. They can express themselves. They can learn something. They can learn about Tupac and all that. So that's really a beautiful thing. His story, his words, Tupac Resurrection. I haven't seen that in ages, man. Yeah, that's now I want to see it again. Man, what do I take next? Next, I have, for me at least, I have like 2 or 3 special items at the end, which I want to keep, like I said, for the end. So we will take DVDs. Not his movies, rather like documentaries. Nowadays you go on YouTube or whatever, you watch this shit. Back in the day you had to buy some DVDs if you wanted to learn more or see more. Tupac Live at the House of Blues. This is really great. It's the concert. Like I said a few seconds ago, you can go on YouTube right now, type in, and you can watch it. I did it myself, but back then I watched it on this DVD. Really cool to see him live perform and his energy and all these people with him, the Outlaws, and Snoop Dogg is there, and yeah, really, really cool. July 4th, 1996. Then we have Tupac and Notorious Big, Welcome to the Hood. If I remember correctly, the quality isn't the best, and I'm not even sure about, like, that's only music videos if I'm not mistaken, and they're probably censored, and I hate this shit. Wow, I haven't had these in my hands for over a few years as well, so I haven't seen these covers for a long time. Welcome to Death Row. Greed, betrayal, violence. Documentary about Death Row. Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, Tupac Shakur. And if I'm not mistaken, this label here, for example, that's a UK label. So some of them I bought from UK, and at least one item or whatever in this whole thing is from the, I don't know. Back then I sometimes even got stuff. Yes, one item is from the US, definitely. But I will come to that later. Tupac Shakur versus Tupac. What? Tupac versus. I don't know. Icon, philosopher, martyr, not sure how to pronounce it the right way. Haven't seen. Oh, here you can see small. That's the interview where he was in prison in '95. So some things I still remember. Yeah, I didn't do research before the video. Some of these things you can, you know, keep in your memory. But I haven't watched these for a long time, so I can't even remember everything or anything. Tupac Resurrection, like I said, I have its CD as well. That's pretty cool. Like I said in the beginning, if anybody would ask me, hey, I want to learn about Tupac, or maybe a child, you know, not a child, but a younger, like a younger, how do you say it, guy. I mean, I was 10 years old when I first came across hip-hop, so what, was I a child or whatever the fuck? So if anybody starts young and wants to know about these things, I would give him probably the DVD, even though it's you have to be 12 years old, but don't tell your parents. Thug Angel. I remember this one. Pretty good, but I wanted to say it different. I remember this one as being good. Genau, that, right. Genau is a German word. Right could be like the translation. Yeah, was made pretty cool, pretty good. So yeah, you see him at the gun range. I believe like this is his earliest interview, you could say. He was a teenager, probably 17 or something like that. It's crazy to see him, and that's one of the reasons many people like him. You know, like he really had this special charisma from an early age. That's one of the reasons why everything came so natural about him, right? I mean, as far as I know he was in that art school or whatever early. Also, he met Jada there and all that, but not sure if he probably, for example, really had. And not saying you have to. You don't have to do shit. You can almost do everything you want to in your life without, you know. But like I wanted to say, I don't believe he had quote unquote went to an, you know, acting school for I don't know how many years it takes. Maybe I'm wrong. Still, the movies I will show in a few seconds, he also in this field came natural with it and was talented. So crazy, right? He didn't have to do a lot. He was himself, you know. And so how can you learn that? You know that. You don't have to learn it, you know. Tupac Shakur, Before Awake, also documentary, and yes, this was the last one. So let's go to the hurry up to the movies. These are in the right order, even though I probably don't have everyone, but at least the bigger known. I may, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. So the first one, Juice. And it's sad that I only have this cover because that's not the original cover. And yeah, in Germany later on this was reissued and that's how they made it. I don't like it, how it looks, but oh, what the fuck? Shit. It's like, it's about the movie anyway, and it's a great movie. It's a cool movie. I like to see it sometimes, not like 10 times a year, but maybe once or twice a year, whatever. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. And it's always cool to see these guys and in the early 90s go back to see everything. It's cool to see, yeah. And like I said, you can see him act there. It's just, it comes natural, you know? Poetic Justice, this is more like on the soft side of movies, but I like it as well. As a fan, you should, if you want to know stuff about a person, their career or what they did, you can't just say, oh, I don't watch this because it's not a straight, whatever, gangster movie or whatever. Who cares? And Janet Jackson, she's looking good in this one. Anyway, yes, still pretty good movie. And we're not talking about huge Hollywood blockbusters worldwide known with trillions of box office dollars. No, obviously not, but still, these can be good movies, you know. I mean, some people have too high standards all the time. They don't even give a chance for some things, you know. Above the Rim. I really like this movie. The whole flair, the whole setup. It's really cool. It's really cool to see. And yeah. I mean, like many people like the 90s, especially when it comes to hip hop. But I also like the 90s from all that came with it, like the clothes, some, not all, but you know, when we're in the hip hop space, yes, or the cars, how the people, you know, people change over the years. Everything changes. That's normal, but it's cool to see that, like, you know, in movies or in documentaries or whatever. It's cool to see these times. So yeah, also a cool movie. Bullet. Not the best movie. Not the best movie. Mickey Rourke also in this movie. No, I don't know. I probably have seen this once or twice. I can't even really remember. Gridlocked. This is a fucking crazy movie, man. If you haven't seen it, this is a crazy fucking movie. Yeah, I say things twice sometimes, but who cares? It's funny, man. It's funny. It's and Tim Roth plays also a really good role, Tupac as well. And I don't know how she's called. The girl, also really cool. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'm not even sure, like, okay, keep the difference in mind, in the US or in Germany. Not even sure if I could watch these movies on demand where I live. They're not that well known over here, you know. Of course, in the hip hop scene or maybe some people, but in the US I could imagine that you could watch these on demand as well. But maybe I'm wrong. Hey, I don't know. Last one, gang related. It's not even long ago that I bought this. I haven't had it in my collection for a long time, and I was like, man, let me search again. I found it, and I have even the complete, I mean, I explained it earlier, right? All this stuff, music anyway, but the movies or whatever, I always watch these things in English because it's more authentic, right? It's the way it was made. Also with other movies, for example, it's in French. I watch it in French and put some subtitles. You know, it sounds better. It's just the way it was made. Yeah. So, and this is a crazy good movie. He's a cool Schauspieler. Schauspieler is the German word for actor. But a nasty motherfucker in this one. And yeah, fuck. Then I'm not sure. Is this the movie? Yeah, this must be the movie. Whereas also, and I don't have that. There's also a soundtrack, and I can't remember the name of the song. I listened to it recently on YouTube. Can't remember how it goes. My life, my life, my life. To the sunshine. Fuck, I don't know. But it's a really cool song. Man, what? It's Tupac and the Outlaws. Whatever. Man, this takes a long time. I mean, I don't mind. I don't care. But I do know that many people don't like it. Whatever. This is a postcard I still have. Don't ask me from when or where. I can't remember. I had this as a huge poster when I was a teenager. Wasn't the only poster I had, but I had this one. A really cool picture. And yeah, over the years I took it down and it's gone. Oh, I remember one thing. I will add it at the very end that I still have. Also special to me. Right. Now we have a chain. It's like a dog tag. I hope you can see it somewhat. I bought this in the US in 2004 and I wore it there. And to this day I have it. I don't wear it, but I have it. What I also have, and this is funny, it's probably fake. But when I was young, in my teenage years, I wanted to have stuff from Tupac. And maybe it's not fake, but it's probably fake. And I don't know what I paid back then. But if it's fake, it's pretty good made, you know? So this is a certificate for an autograph. I won't read everything, but lifetime guaranteed certificate of authenticity, Tupac signed Stay Real Death Row photograph card, the 9th of September 1994, blah blah blah, Rockefeller Plaza, New York City. And this is from 21st December 1996, right? Here's the autograph card. It's a real photo. It is a photo. And it says, Stay Real Tupac. I researched his autograph. It looks somewhat like that. Now you could argue, man, your autograph is not always the same. So, and I said, it's probably fake. Back then I didn't even think about that. And today I don't even give a shit. Because just for me, you know, that's why I keep it. But the crazy thing is, and I know you can manipulate this as well, but it's attention to detail if it's fake, because on the back side, I know you don't see this, and I can't go near because I don't have the autofocus on, because I don't like it. It says the same date, 1994, as on the certificate, you know. What was it here? Let me check. Yeah, the 9th of September 1994, it's the same here. It's the same on the back side. It's Agfa, it's a real photo, and yeah. I still, you know, there are certain things, doesn't matter if it's real or not. Like, if it is, it would be fucking crazy to know that he had this probably in his hands and, like, you know, signed it. But if not, it's still good. The last thing I want to show that's really important to me, one of my favorite, or you could say, my favorite item that I own in this Tupac collection, and I will show one thing at the very end, is the Tupac, how do you say it, action figure. I believe it was made until 2001. It was discontinued. So they are pretty rare. Over the years I checked these sometimes on eBay, US as well. Sometimes they were at like $300 and things were sold. So that's crazy. Not sure if anybody sells these days. I don't. But I still have it. If you look at it, it's not, I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but if you look at his tattoos, for example, you know that it is, how do you say it, man? Fuck, like, but they're not even close to the original, how it looks in the on his body, for example, you know? So it's like Tupac, it's just like a Arial fucking font on, you know? So what I want to say is they could have at least tried a little better, but still I have it, and this is, I really, you know, and this was gifted to me years back, and I was like, wow. And this is from, like I said, there is one item for sure from the US, and this came straight from the US. I remember the package and all that. You know, the carton, somebody sent it to my, or not to me, first to the person who gave it to me, obviously. And that was crazy. Now I have to stop it again and get one more item, and then we are finished. I'm back, and guys, I came across another item that I totally forgot. So I have two left, and this is fucking crazy. But the first I still have is from my, like I tried to explain earlier, when I got to the next stage in my school years, when I was in my teens, a good friend of mine from my class gave me, and it's pretty ripped, but obviously it's old, gifted me this poster. It's pretty big. It's ripped, like I said. And he gifted me this. He said, hey, because he had a little change. He was like, man, I want to like I want to put up some new posters or whatever, different. And he was like, hey, do you want to have it? I was like, why not? It's cool. Funny thing is, he was also like, this was a moment where I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. For example, he wrote 1971 to 1996. So little details, because he researched it once and was like, hey, let me put this on the poster as well so I don't forget it. It's funny how certain things, because I had you know, how do you say it, fuck, you know, like where you put your clothes and shit. Back then I had a huge, I can't come up with the word, but you know what I mean. And on the outside, in my teens, I started to write, tag and all that. And I put up Tupac and then 1971 to 9, almost exactly the same thing. Even though I didn't have, or maybe it was earlier than this poster. So it's funny. And the other thing I came across right at this moment, I didn't even think about this. It's funny because when I was in the US in 2004, I also made a private English course. You know, back then I wasn't bad in English or anything, but I wanted to be better, and I really loved it. I really liked the language, like I said, and I also wanted to get to US, and so I was that's another topic. I don't I can't get too far off tracks. I'm in almost in 50 minutes here, whatever the fuck. So it was a crazy good time. 3 weeks was the best, almost the best, yeah, one of my best times in my life. And the thing is, we had to make, you could say a collage or something like that, from a favorite topic of yours. And you had to present it, you had to talk about it, you could play music and shit. And I can't really remember which song I played, but I played a Tupac song, obviously. I had the best of with me. Back then I had still a CD player and all that. And, you know, portable CD player. And so I decided I will make my presentation about Tupac. So it's not that easy to show. This camera is not the most wide angled, but we will make it work somewhat. And here's a list with added points that didn't fit, and on the back side I printed, which I showed you earlier, the different CDs, the release dates and all that, and his tattoos, where he was born, the movies, blah blah blah. Only God can judge me, only God. Only God can judge me now. Or here, his father that he met later on, when he was shot, and all that. West Side, Tupac Amaru Shakur, obviously. His tattoos, like I said. It's crazy to see. I haven't had it in my hands for a long time, and I still like this one. You know, it was a huge, it was a funny thing back then when we started to learn. Like, you saw it in videos, or you saw it, yeah, mostly in videos when people went like this. And you have to understand, we don't have the same culture as in the US. Obviously, it's the motherland from hip hop and all types of shit, and you know, we didn't grow up with that, with the same things as you. So obviously, but if you dig deep into the hip hop culture, you will see a certain signs, and I'm not only talking about gang signs. I'm talking about, in this case, about, for example, the sign for coast. So the West Side, and when I started this in my earlier years, I never had at the beginning I had a hard time to get the fingers across. You had to somewhat learn it. It was funny. So in the US in 2004, I already was capable of doing that. Wow, was a huge accomplishment, but still, I found it really cool. And I mean, I was on the West Coast, so it fitted perfectly. And some of the guys who came from all over the world, who also went to this private thing, they also liked hip hop or whatever, but they always looked at me like, what is this? And I was like, yeah. And so I found it funny to take the hand and then, you know, West Side. Yeah, whatever. Old memories. It was a cool time. I had fun doing this video, really did, and I hope anybody, if anybody is still here, if anybody saw this, please feel free to comment, give a like if you want to. You know, I can say one thing, like, I know how the internet goes, you know, it's not nothing new, but senseless hate, ignorance, and all that is unnecessary. Like Nip said, Nipsey Hussle. Like he said, I can't quote him 100%, but he said some of these lines like, you know, you can't be ignorant your whole life, or you don't get anywhere. You have to be open-minded to many things. And you can have constructive critique, if you say it like this in English, but plain dumb hate is unnecessary. So if you have the desire to hate, you can think twice, because for once I won't even engage, and on the other hand I will just delete and ignore it. So save your time. If you want to say something nice, yeah, I have nothing against that. And if you have to critique, real critique, that's also perfectly fine. And this was my Tupac collection. It was a fucking long video, but that's how I am. That's how it goes. I don't know how to say it. Like I said in the beginning, also, I don't really plan all that and this and that, because I don't wanna, you know, like cage myself, like, oh, I have 10 minutes. Fuck 10 minutes. If I need 5 hours, I take 5 hours. And if one person sticks with me and watches this, then I have reached my goal, you know. The funny part right now is, and I will end it in a few seconds, the funny part right now is, usually I have a, you know, like this typical YouTube shit, but I came up with this because I'm an artist myself and I have my own name. It's EmKa. That's the German version. You could say EmK in English. So it's EmKa. In German it sounds like EmKa. And usually at the end of the videos I say something like EmKa's. Now I had to think a bit because I didn't record this one in German. It's funny. EmKa's raus, bis zum nächsten Mal, which is something like MK is out till next time, something like that. Translated in a short way. Now I don't have a close sentence or whatever the fuck. I don't have one in English. But this was EmKa's hip hop talk, because that's my playlist. I will put it under. Yes, I will do that. And if anybody saw this and if anybody really liked this, maybe I will do another one. I really wanted to talk about the P&B situation from a certain perspective, but I don't know. It has to pass some time. I feel like it's too early. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, until the next time. Take care.